All right, we're gonna get a little bit of a change of pace with the VOD we're gonna be going over. Noble Knight. Let's see what we got here. Ball, 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 Sigma. Okay, sweet. So we're gonna be reviewing some ball. So this is high gold ball. Okay, so high gold ball. This is Havana. Okay. Any last questions before we go? Some of these, I should do a video on some of these skills. Yeah, sure. Maybe. There's so much information out there. You're welcome. Thank you very much for the sub. Hey, Finzi. By the way, guys, Finzi is not only one of the best off-tanks in the entire West, but he's also one of the nicest guys in the entire region. He rang for us a couple times when Alex was busy with other stuff, and my players were like, they love them. So, you guys know Finzi from Team Envy. So obviously, great guy. Okay, let's review some ball. So this is high gold, so it's gonna be a little scuffed. So obviously, kind of set some guidelines for what I'm looking for. Ball is a main tank that creates space by disrupting, diving, pressuring, dueling, whatever. Like I used to think like the triple D with ball. You've got your dive, disrupt, or duel, right? The duel is basically you're going in and dueling the Widow, you're doing the Zen, you're putting pressure on off angles. Like there's DPS solo split over here, you're gonna fight them, right? And by diving and pressuring them, you take pressure off of your team, and they have to go help the person that you're dueling, so that then that creates space for your team. Then there's the dive, which is like a general term for just going in and smashing into the enemy team, and that gives your team an opportunity to go in. And then there's disrupt. And I think of disrupt as like a softer dive, where you can roll through, knock people around, bait attention, and you can even do things like forcing point. For example, on Anubis first, maybe you could go, everybody's set up on the high ground and spamming your team out. Maybe you can't really boop them because it's like a double CC team that will just stun you. So you go sit on point and you try and force them to point. So what does that do? It forces them to fall back. So there's a lot of different ways you can think of ball like contributing, and that's part of the reason why he's a really good main tank right now. Is he's very flexible with what he can do. He's not very like regimented with how you play a ball. So what that does mean though is that while he's very flexible, he has a very high skill ceiling, or a very high skill floor even to an extent, because if you don't have a plan of what to do, you're probably just going to autopilot and you're going to have a bad time. And I actually think, looking at what we're seeing here, this is a perfect example of where you can definitely play ball into this, but if you're not paying attention, you're going to have a really hard time. So look at this composition, guys. What stands out to you for Team Blue here? We're not going to really look at red right now, but like look at Team Blue. What do you? I'm going to wait till they select it here. Like what do you see here? What's standing out to you? There's a very obvious issue here for playing ball. What's the issue? There's a lot of CC. There's hook, there's stun, there's sleep dart. Like Ana does very well against ball. So there's a lot of issues. Now, they don't have Discord, which is actually a plus, but they have more than enough damage to kill you. They have one AFK. Yeah, that is an obvious issue as well. But you're gonna have to be really smart. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that simply like brain off diving in is gonna be a good strategy against this composition? Like maybe they're playing like, you know, Zen Mercy, you know, Sigma, you know, whatever. Like that would be a comp where you could probably be a little bit more flippant with your dive. But like, look at your comp as well. What do you think should be the game plan for our ball here, generally? What should be the general game plan? Finzi, thanks for the follow, mate. Like, we're not gonna go into specifics. This is high gold. We don't have to go super detailed, but like, what should we be doing? Look at the comp. They're gonna be switching to Mercy as well, so just you guys can kind of keep that in mind. I'm gonna drink more tea. Put Ryan out of position so backline gets value, sure. Baiting abilities and playing safe, sure. I think Ashe would be a pretty good target when he's on an off angle, sure. I would say poke Harass Ashe to force out off angle, poking it on to be annoying. Yeah, so you can annoy the Ashe. You can do like cautious roll throughs. Hopefully when either McCree doesn't have flash, or you know Roadhog doesn't have hook, or Ana doesn't have sleep dart, because you can deal with a CC, you just can't deal with 3. you know, probably not slams until that CC is either gone or your team is like hard committing, because you can slam in and bait all the CC and then your team can kill them. But you can only do that when your team is like really hard committing, right? So like you don't want to roll in until your team is really ready. So I'm going to look at like how you're engaging. And then I'm going to also look at your timing as well. So we'll look at your cooldowns and stuff to an extent, but mostly want to focus on when you're engaging and how you're engaging, because you're going to have to be smart about that. And obviously the timing is going to be very important as well, because you could do a really safe roll through here. Maybe you get flash slept and your team's not going to be able to do anything about it because they're all back here. Whereas if you roll through and your team is here and you get flash done, slept, hooked, everything, everybody's looking at you, you might even die, but your team might still win the fight because literally your team is completely uncontested the entire time. So there needs to be a trade-off. If you're going to kill me and blow everything on me, then I'm going to make you pay, because you're going to be, my team is going to be uncontested. So let's take a look at this timing and then how we're engaging into a very heavy CC comp. Ball has a lot of flexibility with what he does, but he punishes you for making bad decisions pretty hard. I'll turn up the audio just a tad. It is completely silent. Okay, so we're already concerned, chat. We've managed to, in the first 12 seconds, whiff on both things. Number one, looking at how our team is positioned. Yes, we can shoot Reinhardt shield, but there's not really a whole lot that your team can do right now. Your Widow doesn't have a lot of space. The card is still far back. You're outside of Mercy and Zen and Diva LOS and McCree LOS. Not only is your timing off, but also you're indiscriminately on the composition. You're not even paying attention to what they're running. You're slamming in. And not only are you slamming in into a comp that has triple CC, you're slamming into the Hog. You're not slamming into like the McCree or Ana, where your damage might actually be scary or useful. Your damage is barely going to tickle them here, and you're going to get 3 CC'd here. Might not die here, but you're going to do basically nothing, risk your life, and force your Zen Mercy to heal you a lot. So I expect you to survive because this is gold, but like they whiff the flash, but like worthless, like absolutely worthless. Like there's secondhand embarrassment. And there's secondhand, like shame, okay? And I'm stepping it up. It's secondhand, horrendous shame. I'm feeling sick in my stomach at watching that engage. Like, there's no excuse. I don't care what rank you are. That's just unexcusable. You literally rolled out, slammed indiscriminately, and then rolled back to your team, even though your team was in no position to go in. This is the equivalent of pressing shift as Reinhardt while your team is in spawn. Because, yes, you survived, but look at what this Mercy's doing. Look at where the Zen Harmony Orb is. Is your Widow getting pocketed? Is your McCree getting pocketed? What if your Diva starts taking damage right now? What is the status of your cooldowns? Oh, you don't have Adaptive Shield. Oh, you don't have Slam. Like, shame on you. Honestly, shame on you. And not only that, but remember we talked about how you need to think about how you'd go into this. Maybe you go high ground and clear at the Ash. Maybe you sneak up behind them and go for a grapple roll through and just hope that you don't get CC too much, right? But all of that implies you getting set up, like being on the flank, being behind them. You're nowhere near that. You're now with your team. This is the least efficient position for you to be in. So you're mispositioned, you wasted cooldowns, you risk your life, and you fed ult charge. And the reason, obviously you fed your supports ult charge too, but your supports had to support you instead of supporting the DPS. So just horrendous, just really, really horrendous. So you're going in, fine. And you survive. But this is chat, what do we think about this? Ignore the type of engagement, ignore the place, like ignore the cooldowns, ignore the type of engagement. How is our timing here? Okay, remember we're talking about timing and how we engage. How we engage, rolling straight through the middle of the enemy team, awful, shame on you. But timing. Timing, what do we think here? What do you guys think? A little better, yeah. A little better. So improvement over last engagement. At least your team can actually shoot them, right? Diva takes his space, whatever. Now, how you engage, rolling right through the middle of triple CC, butt cheeks. Actual trash, okay? But the timing was there. It's also very important that you noted in chat that you went in without your adaptive shields, which means this hook right here should have killed you. Should have killed you. So, but you would have had adaptive shields if you had not fed earlier. So, slight improvement, still a lot to be asking. Okay, again, timing of your engage. Diva's in, your team has space, you have good LOS. how you engaged was fine. You know, what is it called? A scoop, poop and scoop, or scoop and dupe, root, whatever. I honestly don't even know what it's called. Totally fine. We don't care. 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 Nice. Okay. Yeah. This is not good. So, like, again, I know what you're trying to do. Oh, I'm going to boop them so they can't touch. But the point is that they're going to touch anyway. And you're engaging here. Now, what's the problem with engaging here, chat? What's the problem with engaging here? What's the problem with the timing and how we're engaging here? What's the problem? Yeah, Nox is in. Poggers. Yeah. Exactly. Your team is in no position to follow up on it. Maybe your Widow's in can get a little spam. But if you go, let them come to point and then engage on the back line, so much better. So again, your timing is off. Again, your timing is off. No, you don't get punished for it. But now you don't have grapple, you don't have adaptive shields. And again, you're not really in a great position either. You see this? You still can't engage. Now you can engage, but your DPS are just basically picking you up by the bootstraps and winning the fight for you. Whereas you haven't really done anything. Like right there, baited flash, got some damage in. That's good. But that should have been done, you know, 5 seconds ago, not then. So timing of your engages and how you're engaging into this amount of CC is really poor. Like, Ball is a really complicated hero when it comes to micro, but when it comes to macro, there's not a lot to think about. It's just, okay, am I engaging at the right time, and how can I engage so that I get the most damage and pressure, but I am at the lowest risk of dying myself. And right now, it's just not it. Now, this is okay because the entire enemy team isn't here and because your Widow is taking a peek here, so maybe you get a kill off this. But I don't really want you to heavy invest here because it's just your Widow. You should probably just go and peace out. I wouldn't even heavy invest on this. Yeah, this is good. That's good. That's more of what we want to see. I want you to set up here. Now this is what we want to see, okay? Now chat. What's happening right now? As a main tank, it is inexcusable. In fact, it's arguably the most important skill that you need to have is the awareness of where and what your team is doing. Not specifics, just general awareness. Is stuff happening? Is stuff not happening? That's it. Is stuff happening right now? Is stuff happening right now? Yes, obviously. Yeah, exactly. Stuff is happening. Wait, I need to add, hang on, hang on. Copy. Paste. Nice. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. Stuff is happening. So you going in here, not only are you going in for backline, like, is good, because those are the people that you can threaten the most so that you draw the most attention. Like, remember, you're going for backline not just because you can kill them easier, but because you can kill them easier, they start screaming for help, and now the entire enemy team has to turn on to help them. Whereas if you just slam a Zarya, she doesn't really need to do anything. Maybe they beat Mercy beamers, but they don't really care. But if you're going for this is scary. Okay, so let's see how we do in terms of the actual engagement. Would prefer you to go for the Mercy instead, because remember, Mercy just has to hold beam. Ana has to hit her shot. So Mercy, you could force her to fly away, and then maybe go for the Ana. But I want you to go for the Mercy instead. She's a little squishier. You're gonna mines this. I like it. It's gonna split the enemy team, maybe get a kill. This is great. Good. Engagement there was a little clunky. Should have gone for the Mercy, but the actual timing was good. I think that's what we want to see. Nice little roll there. Ooh, get out, get out, get out, get out. Didn't have the shield. Unfortunate. I mean, you lost the fight, but overall, like, we're not looking at wins and losses. We're looking at what is going to lead to more wins and losses, and that type of engagement was more along the lines. It was better timed. Wasn't really exactly mechanically smooth, but you were on backline. Again, is stuff happening, chat? Is stuff happening? Answer, yes. Obviously, you don't necessarily want to be in the middle of their team, but not a big deal. Also worth noting, compositional swaps. What do you guys see? Because this is the stuff that you have to pay attention to, right? Like, I know we're not, like, you know, GM here, but we still have to pay attention to this stuff. There's been a very... Hey, Twitch. Hey, Twitch, I say. Hey, boy. There's been a pretty significant change in what's going on here. No Kree, no Hog. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Hey, Natter. Good to see you, mate. Doing well. How about you? How much does a VOD review cost? I'm actually like, well, this is a subscriber only VOD review, but it's not, it's in the process of changing. So, yeah, you can play more aggro. Basically, Finzi, like, it's kind of hard to explain, but like, I'm working on getting that sorted out in the next day or two. Imrorio, man, thank you for the follow. But yeah, it's not only you can be more aggressive, it's you should be more aggressive. You can't just be happy with, hey, I baited Flash and Hook and Sleep Dart. Holy cow. Thanks for the sub, Vinci. Appreciate it. It's, you need to be doing more. Because when they swap from CC, they're swapping from threats to you to threats to your team. Because now, like with the McCree Hog, your backline was pretty much free, right? Your Zen, Mercy, McCree, like Ashe, nobody was like pressuring them much at all. Like Hog, Kree, that's not really a threat. But now they're on Genji Tracer. Sorry, you know, that's like, you know, they can bubble the Tracer, the Genji can go in. So like there's more threats to not you, but to your backline. So that means that your backline is going to be under more pressure. So you need to do more. You need to do more. If that makes sense. All right, so good timing, stuff is happening. I want to see you doing stuff. And what you want to be doing, this is where things get a little tricky. You know, you could be harassing Mercy here, you could be harassing Zarya, you could be booping people around. But I really want us to be looking at, like, you know, how we're doing things. Oh dear. Keep on the Mercy. I like this. Roll away. Nice. Don't overcommit. Your team's in spawn. Good. Oh, I gotta go back. Alright. Stay at it. Zarya is also a pretty decent target because she's a little squishier. You're on Winston as well. Go for the Ana, honestly. Oh, the Mercy even better. Nice. Yeah, she's dead. Nice. Shoot the Zarya, please. Shoot the Ryan. Shoot the Ryan, please. Shoot the Ryan. Didn't need to really do that crazy of a setup if you just need to shoot the Ryan. It's just one person alive, so. Okay. Do you have any recommendations on ball players using high-low sense out of curiosity? No. I mean, for ball play, ball Overwatch, he's great. Like, I know it's a meme, but he is really good at the hero. So this is really awkward. What do you guys think in chat think about this? Wait a second, can I change these? Wait. Oh, blessings! I can make it 10. Look at that, chat. Look. I think I can do even 5. This is new. This is new. Nice. Look at that. Hey, Sam. Shut up. Wait, that's an insult. Okay. Chat, what do we think about these mines? What do you guys think? This is tricky, but I have a very specific opinion on this. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Right. So the goal should be to let more people in because your team can't really follow up on these mines. Now, yes, you're splitting a little bit of the enemy team, but like who could follow up? You and your monkey. That's literally it right now. Like again, your Kree's here, your Sen's in cart, your Mercy is back here. Like your Ashe just died, and even your Ashe would have had a hard time like getting in here and finding value, right? So yes, you're slowing down the enemy team by a lot. It's gonna take some time to break all these mines, but you're not really gonna get any kills. You're not really going into this fight with, hey, we're fighting them, but we have mines, so we win. So it's gonna be really hard for you guys to win this. Right. So what I want you to do is I mean, I can understand this if the cart was like here, where you, okay, I'm gonna slow them down and we're just gonna cap easy peasy. So I'll you know, we don't fight, but we'll take the easy cap. But the cart's nowhere near where it needs to be, where you're gonna slow them down enough where you're gonna cap. So you need to let them out to where more of your team can follow up. Again, it's the same concept as what happened at the end of first. You guys remember when we slammed in over here? We're gonna slow them down, but you couldn't have capped by slowing them down. They were too close. So all you did end up doing is blowing a lot of cooldowns, wasting a lot of time, slowing them down slightly, and then they came in and you didn't have your ultimate or you didn't have your cooldowns. It's the same thing. Your timing is off. Your team can't follow up Bang Dong, thanks for the fall. Like, the timing is, what good timing is in a location to where your team can actually get something out of it. I think that's a good way of saying it. Good timing is positioning yourself to engage when and where your team can follow up. If you mines here once they drop, or as they push out of high ground, your entire team can follow up on it, on the split or the kills. Nobody but you and your monkey can follow up here. So this is essentially a 2v6. This would be a 6v6. This is only worth it if you're not even looking to fight, if you're just looking to slow them down. So I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of these mines. You might not even get a kill out of it. It doesn't look like you're going to. Be very careful about your cooldown usage here. You do catch the Genji out, so maybe get a kill on the Genji. So yeah, that's a little bit of a feed from the Genji, more than a good play by you. But you know, I guess you got a little bit of a split there. But even then, can you imagine mining right now? Like, absolutely busted. Ooh, please adapt and shield. So you guys should still probably win this. A little awkward to engage. I could tell you're like, I don't know what to do right now, so you're kind of like bumbling around. Be a little more decisive. Well, actually, you know what? No, it's okay to be slow, but you need to... That's not going to work. That's still not going to work. Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Holy cow. Please stop. My eyes. Okay. Okay. You're going to roll in, get slapped. At higher tiers, you are going to be wanting to pay more attention to Sleep Dart and engaging smarter to bait Sleep Dart. Because playing into an Ana with a team that has any sort of damage, just rolling in and diving her when she has Sleep Dart, around Plat or Diamond is not going to work super well. You're going to want to be a little bit smarter. Timing was alright though, yeah. So it's like the engage was terrible, but the timing was there, so it didn't even matter that much. That's why I harp on this timing, because sometimes it really is like the easiest way of improving. Like, look at what your monkey's doing. Like, your monkey's just feeding his brains out. Like, thankfully your Ashe is pushed up, but this is just so stupid. Like, he's all the way in, and he's popping Primal Rage. For what? Maybe your Ashe gets a kill here that they're just going to res anyway. Right? This is what I'm talking about with timing. This is not just, obviously not your mistake here, but like, your Zen can't help with this. Your McCree can't help with this. You're in no position to help with this. Like, it's just such a big Overwatch concept that people just do not do well. That kill is meaningless. Almost meaningless. Your monkey's feeding ult charge. He's wasting his ultimate. So now next fight, we're not going to have ultimate. And there's the res. Now, I ask, chat, what do we think? What do we think? I'm going to hate to nitpick on this stuff, but like, we need to be asking ourselves, like, this is how you self-review. Every single fight. Is what I did correct? Did I use my cooldowns properly? Was my timing right? Was my positioning good? Yeah, it's a little early. It's a little early, right? Not super early, not monkey level early, but look at the cart. Look at your Zen. Look at your DPS positioning, right? And another thing too, and because we haven't touched on it as much, is I want us to look at like how we're engaging here. I know they're no longer on double CC, but is this really the best way to engage as well? Is there anything else that you could theorize that might work better than what we're doing here? Without being too complicated here. Like, let's not go like super micro crazy rollout, bouncing off the rooftops. Running it down mid is always the best way to engage, right? You're just going up front, right? You're just absorbing damage before you even go in. Like, look at your HP right now. 435 HP. You're at 400 HP before you even slime. And this is gold. Imagine if this was like, you know, Plat or Diamond, where the soldier's going to hit a couple more shots, the Orisa's going to hit a couple more shots, you know, maybe you might get, you know, shot by the Ana once, right? So yeah, I think going here and looking for an engage here would be a lot better, right? Go for this, you know? Maybe you could roll up to here and roll out and slam here or something. I don't know, like my job isn't to sit here and nitpick your micro, at least at this level. It's to give you ideas, to get you to start thinking about the stuff that you need to do to start improving. You mines it. But again, the mines is not something that your whole team can follow up on. So yes, you force a really nice split here, but your team isn't really in a position to push this. Imagine if you had waited now. Now you mines engaged. Now you force a split. So much better. So much better. And you're gonna die for it too. Oh, wow. This engage is, you know, fine. You know, their team is obviously here. They're all over the place. Oh, wow. Oh, we got the kill. Nice. Maybe winnable. All the micro and mechanical stuff of you clunking on walls, nobody cares about that stuff. You'll get better at it the more you practice. I don't think it's like... Here's what I want you to do. I want the only errors you to be making are the micro. I want you to be clunking into walls, messing up your grapple, forgetting the cooldown of your adaptive shields, and, you know, that stuff. If we can eliminate it to where those are the only errors you're making, then you're going to be a much better ball, because your practice will be efficient. Because then all you'll be practicing is mechanics, right? It's like, let's put it this way. Let's say that you're like a professional weightlifter. I get you perfect equipment. I teach you perfect form. I teach you a perfect structure for your workouts, and then I just say, go at it. Now I'm not worrying about if you're throwing out your back, if you're eating right, if you're having the right equipment, if you're doing the right moves. I just know that all it takes now is time and work, and that's it. Right now, time and work would help you improve immensely, but I want to make it work more efficiently for you by making sure that the time and work that you're putting in is with the proper mindset. That way, all the work that you do is going to be more efficient. Work smart, right? That's why you get coaching, so you work smart. So you kind of have some sort of direction with what you're doing. Okay? Again, Jet, we'll analyze this composition really, really quickly. Give me just a quick second. Give yourselves 10 seconds to think, because that's about how long this player has. And then give me a general guideline of what we should be doing. How we should be engaging. Obviously, the timing is the same. Wait until they cross choke. Yeah. Don't hyper unless you're spawn camping. You want to be very careful about engaging too early with grapple and slam. Okay. Look at their comp. What are some major? Are there anything major about the comp? Should be looking for engages where DPS have sightlings. Yeah. So we got 2 snipers. So like looking for those guys is going to be good. They have honest, so maybe working with your monkey. Not die to rock hook. Yep, so be careful. They do have a decent amount of CC here, so be careful. Okay, so we want to go in hard on snipers, but we have to be careful. Okay? Again, it doesn't have to be super complicated. Just get a general idea. Now, what do we think? Oh, what do you think? What do you guys think? Keeping it simple. Seems to have grown a bush on my shoulder. Missed time some, yeah. So not terrible, but not good either. Like this is just outside of Zen LOS, just outside of Hanzo LOS, just outside. And like obviously you're not going to be aware of where your team is peaking at all times, but you can have a general pretty good idea. Generally, this is going to be where like, hey, your team is set up, right? But look at the card, right? Another 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and this is good. Like look, give them a couple, 3, 4, 5. Right here, slamming here, perfect. Perfect. Your monkey can go in. You're gonna have good sightlines. This is what we want to see. But the slam we did, not so perfect. By the way, I like the slam into a grapple roll away into this composition. It's a good way to bait a lot of cooldowns and survive. I really like that. That was well done. Nice. This is what we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. This is great. I don't know if you're communicating with your monkey, but your timing here is excellent. You're just very lucky that you didn't get your cooldowns forced before with the previous engage, because that might have made that meant that you had to wait before you did this. But this is well timed. This is what we like to see. Maybe even a tad late, actually. Could have been a little early. But yeah, I mean, but it's no surprise that this engage works. You see what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, I engaged it well and I just got lucky. But you timed it well, and it worked. I'd be careful about engaging right now. You are down a couple, and they have close response. You're probably going to die here if you're not careful. They're on Reaper as well. Something you need to be very careful about. Oh dear. He is coming for you. Oh, he's still coming for you. Wow, this guy's hungry. He's still coming for you. I would be careful about this type of engage, but you know, your timing is there. Ooh, high noon. Okay, they're on Genji. He should be engaging from the back. Yeah, I would prefer to engage from the back. It's safer. It's harder for them to turn around and deal with you. When he goes in around the front, he does take damage initially, yes. Yes, exactly. He needs to get hit by sleep, by rock, yeah. It's not even the sleep or rock that you're worried about, because smart people aren't going to go for the CC until you've slammed, or if you've rolled right next to them. It's the mouse one. That's what hurts. The mouse one that hurts, that leads into CC, is what hurts. Wow, you guys just destroyed him. You missed your slam, you missed your grapple. That's not good. That one's going to hurt. This feels very awkward. They're really struggling to engage. Probably didn't need mines, but we'll see. Ooh, dear. How are you guys losing this? Roll away, please. Oh, you guys are gonna actually lose this. Unbelievable. Okay, so really, really, really sloppy engage there. You missed your grapple and you missed your slam entirely on the back line. That's not something that's, like, we're not going over micro here, especially that mid-fight stuff that happened here, but missing your grapple and your slam is obviously, like, there's just no engage. And so, like, we can't not mention that. And then obviously what happened afterwards was pretty clunky. I think we're gonna stay, wait. Okay, so we're actually gonna stop here because I think, like, I don't want to go over Sigma. I want to stay on topic with what we're going over. Everything has to do with, at least what you need to work on is with how you're engaging in terms of, like, rolling directly in and getting front-loaded damage. And then the other thing is when you're engaging, when your team actually has sightlines to be able to follow up off of what you're doing. Don't worry as much about your micro. That will get better with time. Obviously, there was a lot to be desired, but it's high gold. It's okay. But when and how you're engaging, not the mid-fight, but just the very start, needed significant work. And that starts by actually paying attention to what the composition is playing, the enemy team, just getting a general idea. And then secondly, giving an idea of where my team is. Because you're not going to know when to go in if you don't have a general idea of where your team is. You don't need details. You don't need to know, okay, my Zen is picking up now, so no, just, is my Zen have any LOS or what's going on whatsoever? That's what you need. And that's what we were missing desperately in this VOD.